the heart of Los Angeles, and a flourishing career as one of the most powerful entrepreneurs in the country. But none of that mattered when she returned home to an empty house, filled with memories of her late husband and the silent presence of her son, Elijah. Elijah, only 6 years old, had a world very different from other children his age. A car accident when he was a toddler had left him unable to walk, confined to a wheelchair, and struggling with speech delays. Her husband, Daniel, had died in that same crash, leaving Charlotte to navigate single motherhood alone. Despite her best efforts, she felt like she was failing. Charlotte wanted to be there for Elijah, but her business demands were suffocating. She needed someone who could not only care for Elijah but truly understand him. After a string of disappointing nannies who were more interested in their paychecks than Elijah's well-being, Charlotte was running out of options. Then one day, she met Lila Parker. Lila didn't look like the typical nanny Charlotte had hired before. She was young, in her mid-30s, with kind eyes and a quiet strength that radiated from her presence. Lila's warmth was undeniable, and there was something in the way she carried herself that made Charlotte pause. "Ms. Ward, I know your son needs more than just basic care," Lila said with confidence during the interview. "He needs love, patience, and someone who believes in him." Charlotte was skeptical. Too many people had promised the same thing. But something about Lila felt different. "You're hired," Charlotte said, surprising even herself. From the moment Lila stepped into the house, everything started to change. She didn't treat Elijah as fragile or broken. She spoke to him like a little boy full of potential. Lila encouraged him to try new things, read him stories with excitement, and even sang to him at night when he struggled to sleep. Charlotte noticed the difference almost immediately. Elijah, who had been withdrawn and hesitant, began to smile more. He responded better. He even laughed, a sound Charlotte hadn't heard in a long time. It almost made her cry. One evening, as Charlotte watched from a distance, she saw Lila kneeling beside Elijah, her voice full of warmth. "You are so strong, Elijah. You know, superheroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they fight battles inside their hearts, and that makes them even braver." Charlotte felt something stir within her, an unfamiliar feeling of hope. But then, curiosity got the best of her. She had installed security cameras in the house to ensure Elijah's safety. She hadn't checked the footage in weeks, but something about Lila's kindness made her uneasy. It almost felt too good to be true. That night, Charlotte sat in her study and opened the surveillance footage. She fast-forwarded through the days, watching as Lila cared for Elijah with unwavering patience. Lila made funny faces to cheer him up, held him close when he struggled, and celebrated every tiny victory as if it were the greatest achievement in the world. Then she noticed something strange. Late at night, when the house was silent and everyone was asleep, Lila would sit by Elijah's bedside. She would hold his tiny hands in hers, tears glistening in her eyes, and whisper words that shook Charlotte to her core. "I'm so sorry, Elijah. I should have saved you that day. I should have done more." Charlotte's heart pounded in her chest. What was Lila talking about? She rewound the footage, watching closely. And then it hit her like a tidal wave. The next morning, Charlotte confronted Lila. She found her in the living room helping Elijah with his drawings. "I checked the security footage," Charlotte said, her voice calm but her eyes intense. Lila's face went pale. "Why did you say you should have saved him?" Charlotte asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Tears welled up in Lila's eyes as she took a deep breath, as if bracing herself. "Because, Ms. Ward, I was there the day of the accident. I was a nurse at the hospital. I was the one who held Elijah's hand when they brought him in. I promised him he would be okay. I tried everything to save your husband, but I couldn't." Charlotte felt as if the ground had been pulled out from under her. She staggered back in shock. Lila wiped her tears. "I left nursing after that day. I couldn't bear the pain. But then, when I saw the job posting for a nanny, I knew it wasn't just a coincidence. I had to be here. I had to do something for Elijah, even if it was in a different way." Charlotte stood frozen, her emotions a tangled mess of grief, shock, and something deeper, something she hadn't felt in years. That night, Charlotte watched as Lila and Elijah played together, their laughter echoing through the house. For the first time in years, Charlotte felt something she thought was lost: peace. She walked over to them, kneeling beside them. "I don't think Daniel would want either of us to carry this pain anymore," Charlotte said softly. Lila met her gaze, her eyes filled with unspoken emotions. "He would want us to focus on what matters." "Elijah." Charlotte nodded, a single tear slipping down her cheek. "He deserves the best, and that's exactly what he's getting." From that day forward, things were different. Charlotte made more time for Elijah, not just as his mother but as a woman determined to embrace the present instead of drowning in the past. Lila stayed, not as a nanny, but as part of their family. Though the scars of loss remained, they no longer defined their story. Instead, they became reminders of the love that still endured, the kind of love that transformed pain into purpose. Life has a way of bringing people together when they need it most. Charlotte had searched for someone to care for Elijah, but in doing so, she found much more: a second chance at healing, love, and embracing the future. A second chance at love, healing, and family. Will you join the journey? In a world where pain and loss can feel like the end of a story, Sophie Brooks and Ella Martin show us that sometimes, it's only the beginning. This is a story of redemption, the kind of love that heals the deepest wounds, and the unwavering belief that no matter how broken we may feel, there is always hope for tomorrow. Oliver's journey to happiness and confidence is about to change the lives of everyone around him. But his story is only possible with a little help, a lot of patience, and the kind of love that doesn't expect anything in return. Will you walk with Sophie and Ella as they rebuild a future, not just for Oliver, but for themselves? Will you see how the power of love, even in the darkest of times, can create something beautiful and life-changing? This is a story about healing. It's about embracing the present, transforming pain into purpose, and finding your way back to what truly matters. If you believe in second chances, in love that grows stronger through struggle, and in the healing power of family, this journey is for you. Join Sophie, Ella, and Oliver on a path to redemption. Don't just watch the story unfold, be part of it. Because true love always finds its way.